Well, now you've done it. You broke out your dad's old Alan Jackson records and you heard Brent Mason, and now you want to chicken pick and you can't stop thinking about anything but chicken picking. So we've all done it, right? We've heard a really cool chicken picking lick or something on a song, and then you go and pull the tabs down and then you try to recreate it and it just doesn't sound the same. You look at it and you play this. But what you want it to sound like is this. There's some things you can do. Almost the notes don't matter. There's some techniques and some things you need to get chicken picking going. All right, tip number one. It's not reverb you want, it's delay, okay? So what you're gonna want is to put a slapback delay on your guitar tone. So there are tons of videos online to teach you how to get a slapback delay. Perhaps a certain YouTuber that you're watching right now has a video called Slapback Delay 101 that you want to go check out. Do it. So a slapback delay is really essential to getting this sound. So if you don't have it, you kind of get a choked sound, but you want more of a cluck. So if I turn on my slapback, and that's just what you want to have, okay? So step one, slapback delay. All right, tip two is you want to pluck those high strings. So instead of just picking it like, say, this, you want to pull on it with your fingers instead of picks, which sound like. But if I pluck it with my fingers, let's pull in close and I'll show you with my fingers here, all right? Okay, so what do I mean by pluck it? So I mean just that. You're using a hybrid picking style to get this. So look at this hand, don't worry about this hand. You're actually gonna take your finger, pull it under it, and you're pulling up on it to make that string slap the fretboard, right? So you're not plucking like this, you need to pop it. Kind of get a staccato sound. You can do that with one finger. As opposed to the sound if you were using a pick. Okay, and so that's the great thing about it. Like if I just ran through a pentatonic scale just with my pick, it would sound like this. But if I pluck it, and so that's the difference. The plucking is really where you get that kind of box sound. And you can also use two fingers. So like if I use both of these fingers to pluck, you can get more of a sound instead of just not the same, right? You're kind of trying to get that choke. Trying to get a choked sound for that high string, and that's how you get the cluck, cluck, bach, cluck, cluck, bach. And so there you go. So step three is palm mute the lower notes. All right, so we just talked about the bach. Let's talk about the cluck, cluck. We want to mute the low string. So a good way to think about that is that's where you get the cluck, cluck. And that's where the slapback delay helps, right? So that's what you're wanting to do. You're palm muting. So right, so your palm is just over the bridge to where you're choking out that note. So that's the big thing for chicken picking. You get your cluck from the palm mute and your bach from snapping it. So if you go back to a video I did a couple of weeks ago called Country Bending 101, we did this pattern that sounds like this. Now if we want to give it the chicken picking treatment, we're going to mute the bass strings and then pop the high. Then we mute them again. Pulling on that one. Right, so it's very different. So let's listen to the two different ones. But if I chicken pick it, and so that's the secret. The notes aren't different, it's just how you attack it with your hand and your pick. Okay, and so there you go. There are your 3 tips. You want slapback delay. You want to pluck those high notes with your finger. And then you want to mute your more bass notes so you kind of can get like... All right, so let's do a quick lick for you to play around with, and then we'll get out of here. So it's a descending lick, basically to run from your 5 chord to your 4 chord and then back to your 1. So we're going to go from the B to the A and then resolve to the E. So it'd be something like... All right, let's get in here close and work it out. All right, let's walk through that parting lick. So we're gonna be going... So we're basically going B, which is the 5, A, which is the 4, down to the E, which is our 1. So this is kind of a thing where you could kind of, before you're doing a turnaround, right? So if we're doing it, the way to think about which chord the lick is on is it's just your good old-fashioned E-shaped bar chord, and we're really just using this small triad. So like for the B, it's the D string 9, G string 8, B string 7. So right there. Now, what you're going to do is you're just going to do a walk up on the D string on the 7th fret, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to pluck with these 2 fingers the G and the B string. And that's it. So it's like that. Now I am adding a little bit of a muted bass note in there. So it would be... So you're kind of alternating there. Hopefully that comes through pretty well. So just listen to it and work it out. And so it's a really nice lick because it's movable. Like right then we kind of did it in a 1, 4, 5 and E. Right? If I wanted to do it in, let's say, G, right, we would start up here at the 10th fret and do a D. Like that. So work on that. All right, there you go. 3 tips on how to chicken pick and a lick to play around with. So hopefully you found that stuff's helpful. Thanks again to everyone who's liked and subscribed. We'll get back in here for some more videos, and take care of yourself out there and keep playing, all right?